Where's the evidence? Pressure's on the Donald Trump campaign to show its hand, to reveal evidence of electronic vote fraud. Dominion Voting Systems denies allegations that its machines deleted or changed votes. On Mark Levin's radio program, Trump legal team member, former federal prosecutor Sidney Powell said she has plenty of evidence of fraud. Powell alleges the evidence includes a signed affidavit from a man who says he witnessed Dominion and Smartmatic vote manipulation in Venezuela.
He was present for the creation of the system for the specific purpose of falsifying election results for Hugo Chavez and then Maduro. They exported it all over Latin America. It's the Smartmatic and Dominion system specifically built for doing this very thing, for changing the results of elections. He saw it done. He knows exactly how they do it. He explained how they do it.
Ms. Powell alleges the same hardware and software was used to wipe away votes in the U.S. presidential election. Well, here with more is commentator and author Michael Schur. Dr. Schur is a former CIA analyst and former adjunct professor at Georgetown University. Michael, it's good to have you with us again. So first, I've got to ask you, do you believe votes were manipulated, changed electronically, in favor of Joe Biden? And if so, how was it done?
Well, I certainly do believe it, sir, because I saw it on TV on the crawls underneath television coverage of the election. At least two cases. One had about 12,000 votes that magically went from Trump to Biden, and another one about 20,000 votes. And both times, Trump's numbers decreased by exactly the number that Biden's increased. And so before any of this came about, I just had a strong inkling that something was afoot here. And the more they suggest that the intelligence service, our intelligence service, were involved in it, I tend to think that there probably was a great deal of vote marking by people when they found out how many votes they needed to surpass Trump in places like Pennsylvania and Michigan. I think clearly the Dominion company, if nothing else, it's foreign interference in the American election. It's a Canadian company. And it was storing its records in Germany and Spain for some reason. And most of all, the idea that the U.S. government at all levels, apparently, especially at the state level and local level, are contracting for non-bureaucrats, non-government workers to count votes. That seems to me to be just entirely unacceptable, like our military buying equipment from China.
Well, Michael, who was behind this then?
Certainly appear to be part of the Central Intelligence Agency, using for their political operations overseas. They use servers and store materials and do other things. And the fact that the ones in Germany were held or grabbed by U.S. forces because they were CIA servers. And in Europe, the CIA operates under the jurisdiction of the military. And so the military was responsible for seizing those with the help of the German authorities. And those servers are now in the hands of the FBI, which doesn't make me very comfortable, but at least they're in American hands.
So that did show that there was a CIA connection then.
Well, according to the media, and no one has refuted it, sir. I saw that at one point the agency said it had no comment. At least that's what was reported in the media. And it certainly follows, almost as night follows day, the agency's attempt with the FBI to prevent Trump from getting the Republican nomination, then trying to throw him out of office. You and I spoke before about an insurrection in this country, and that's exactly what we're watching. But only now, since we last spoke, we have seen a coordinated, violent, murderous campaign by the Democrats' terrorist groups, Antifa and Black Lives Matter, across the country. So the president is stuck here with a very, very hard decision. Do you declare insurrection, or do you try to play it out through the courts? It seems to me, and I think it's the correct answer, to play it out through the courts, and they seem to have the evidence, or at least that's what they claim.
Michael, do you believe there's sufficient evidence then to prevent Joe Biden from assuming the presidency? What do you expect may happen now?
Well, I think they may overthrow the election, but I wrote a piece on my blog last week, sir, that this president, I said basically life is full of hard decisions. And this president may have the hardest decision that any American ever had to make. Do you turn over power to a man who is clearly implicated in taking money from the Chinese government in favor of himself and his family? You have solid evidence for that through his son's computer. Do you give the authority of the president to a man who is now indicted in the Ukraine for trying to extort or succeeding in extorting the firing of an officer of a lawyer that was looking into his son's business?
I guess we're going to have to see how all of this plays out, aren't we?
Well, sir, this is very dangerous time for America because there's 73 million people who know everything you need to know about Biden and everything you need to know about the attempts to overthrow the American government. And if you look at most places on the internet to buy ammunition, you can't get any because it's sold out.
Okay, Michael Schur, commentator, author, former CIA analyst. Thank you, Michael, for sharing your insights. Appreciate you being here.
Oh, it's always a pleasure, sir, and I'm grateful for being asked to be here.